minute about seasons or times in our lives. And, they're all a little different. I really like fall. I like summer. And it really depends on where I'm going or what I'm doing. And given the state of our environment, and we're a product of our environment, it's really difficult to try and find any traction or any meaning. And what I mean by that is things that we used to do or have always been accustomed to doing may not be available. I have a brother in California right now, and the current state of our environment, they are completely shut down. So he's got 4 kids. He's at home with those kids. His wife works at home. He works at home. And outside of work, he was really into baseball. And if you listen to the previous podcast, you'll understand I like sports, and that's what, kids have to be active and outside. But baseball got shut down, and he's trying to find a new norm. And what I mean by that is I talked to him and I said, hey, so what are you doing? And he's like, man, I'm just getting killed. I'm not, that doesn't seem like I'm getting a break. I go to work, I shut my door. The kids are nipping in my heels. I got school starting. So now I'm a teacher and making sure their homework gets done. And he's like, man, I don't get a break. The only thing we can do is go outside and go for a walk, or maybe go for a hike in the mountains. And I said, hey, you know what you need to do? I just finished my basement. Why don't you come here for a month? And he's like, really? And he's like, well, I don't think my wife would like that, blah, blah, blah. And I said, you know what? Just come. And about a week later, he texted me and said, we're coming. And he's going to come. And I said, dude, your kids have to be kids. They have to play. And you need to get away from your environment to appreciate what you have and let your kids be kids. And I said, not only that, but this is just a season. It's a short period of time. And until we get back to a new normal and know what that looks like, this is just a small season. But I said, let's look at what you need to be grateful for. You have a place to stay, right? You're working from home. You're saving money on childcare. You get to see your kids all the time. Yes, they're driving you crazy, just like my kids drive me crazy. But I said, when you lay your head down at night, tell yourself 5 or 10 things you're grateful for. And when you get up in the morning, tell yourself 5 or 10 things that you're grateful for. It helps change and set your mindset for the day of, guess what? It's not so bad. I'm saving $3,000 on childcare. Or, hey, it's not so bad. I love my family. Hey, it's not so bad. I have a job. My bills are paid. I got food on the table. I got a roof over my head. Yes, you're not able to play baseball. And yes, you're not able to do what you normally were able to do. I get that. But be grateful. Guess what? You get to come to my house for a month, and the kids are going to have a heyday. They will remember that for the rest of their lives. You'll get a break. I'd love to see you. All those things to be grateful for in an environment when it's ever changing and it's just a small season. One that I've been having a hard time with is I have a daughter, and she just graduated from high school, and she is trying to figure out what she wants to do. It's hard. She's like, well, do I go to college and sit in a dorm and do my homework from home? Or do I stay here and save money on rent and do college at home? What do I do? What do I want to study? Where do I want to go? These are all decisions, and trying to help her navigate through that and have her make a decision is a little bit daunting and challenging, but I have to remember it's just a season. She'll figure it out. And I have to be patient as a father, even though I want to tell her, you need to go to school. Just study generals. I don't care if you're doing it from a dorm room. All those things, right? You need to experience life. Life lessons, I wish, didn't have to be experienced, but oftentimes they do. Or you're paying to learn. You're paying the piper with time. You're paying the piper with money to learn those life lessons. And in the meantime, being grateful for what we do have. There's so much to be grateful for. I've been to a third world country, and I tell you what, nothing will change your mindset or your gratitude quicker and faster than seeing the humble environment that people live in. I have a good friend of mine that works for the state, and they're a social worker. And she says, it's interesting to me, I'll walk into houses where she'll have a W amputee, the guy's in a wheelchair, they're in a 900 square foot apartment complex, it's him and his wife, and they're happy as can be. They're joyous, they love company, they're so grateful for just being alive. They're overflowing with joy. And then she says, I'll walk into another house where families seem like they have everything put together, and it's negative, and it's daunting, and it's, oh, poor me, poor this, poor that, and I wish this never would have happened, this stroke, this accident, whatever. And she says, how is it that you take people from different walks of life, put them in two different environments, and one have so much joy and one have so much negativity? And I'm sure the people that were in the wheelchair, and I'm sure the people that the wife's the caretaker, would love to have some of those things, the house, the car, all of those things to come home to. But, they are happy with the state of their environment. They show gratitude. They're grateful for one another. They're grateful for living and breathing. And then to take the opposite and go into a house where they seem to have everything put together. And she says it is overwhelming, either negativity or joy. And there's some that you can tell that they just had a bad day. But the more days that you have gratitude, the more joy you feel, you will chase that. Negativity is easy to find. It's not hard to find. Negativity, just turn on the news, right? And I wish there was a news media that was all about happy things and happy places, about who served who today and who did this. But it isn't that. It's not there. Maybe someone needs to develop a news channel where it's the happy place, right? Our negativity is easy to find. Joy is a little bit harder to find. But it's a choice, it's action, and it all starts with being grateful at the start and the end of every day. I don't know if many of you believe in a higher power. I do. And, I like prayer by myself as a family and in quiet. And that's how I try to show my gratitude and my attitude towards being here. And it doesn't mean I'm perfect. I make mistakes every day, but I work every day to strive harder and harder to be a better man today than I was yesterday. And the more I achieve those perfect days about being polite and kind and courteous and cheerful, all the things that I've been taught since I was a little kid, I want to strive for more of those days because I love that feeling over the negativity, anxiety, depression, and all that garbage out there. As always, I appreciate all of you tuning in and sharing this message. Feel free to forward it to your friends, your family, your loved ones. And tune in, subscribe, leave a review. Thank you, and have a great day.